right here, by Toni Morrison. And just to tell you a little bit about the book, so it starts with the main character, Florence. She's a slave girl, about 14 or so, and it starts with her in first person, and it's in present tense. So we get the sense of urgency because it's present, it's moving, and we later find out that she's on a journey. We don't find out like what the journey's for until about halfway through the book, but eventually you find out that her journey is to basically save her mistress, her master's husband, because she's gravely ill. So she was sent by her master or her mistress to find this blacksmith, this mysterious, nameless blacksmith. So because she's sent to find the blacksmith because he has knowledge of herbs and medicines and stuff, and healing, I guess. And so we see throughout the book. So how the book is set up, we have it flip flops between having first person, present day of the book, obviously. Florence talking, almost like a diary entry, about like what she's going through day by day, on this journey. And then the other side, the other chapters are third person, and they're made up of flashback scenes and like different other scenes that are really used to help develop the other characters, and like give them like slowly like unpeels like their character, their backstories, because every single one of them have a backstory, like an interesting backstory, just to like give you a run through of the characters. So Florence already said. Then Lena, she is a Native American servant on the same land as Florence is a slave, and so as a child, her family's village was burned down by some explorers, and so she was taken in by some Presbyterians that were on the land, and then she was eventually sold to Jacob Bark, who is or was, spoiler alert, he dies like in the middle of the book. He is the owner of the land where Lena and Florence work. And Jacob, he was an orphan as a boy, but he was given an inheritance by an unknown relative, I believe. And he just built himself up. He's a very respected man, but he's very proud in that he doesn't like to ask for help. But it also shows a side that he's hopeful for a better future and things like that. And then so his wife, mistress, as Lena and Florence and Sorrow and all of them call her, her name is Rebecca Bark, and she came over from England. Like her parents sent her over here, over to America, when she was like a teenager, to be married to Jacob, like a man she'd never met before. And they gladly gave her away because she was the rebellious one, as it says in the book. She was the rebellious one. She asked too many questions, and so they're like, we need to get rid of this child. And so they sent her over, and she quickly took to farm work. She quickly took the chores in like a completely strange place to her. And but obviously she becomes ill after Jacob's death. She becomes ill, and that's why Florence is on this journey. And then we get to who's next? We get to Sorrow, and she is very mysterious. Actually, first let me talk about the blacksmith. The blacksmith, he is extremely mysterious. Like, he's kind of kept like distant from the reader, like throughout the whole thing. Like, there's never a chapter on him. We never truly like find out his story. But from what I gathered, he is a African man. So he's African, but he's never been a slave. He's always like been free his whole life, and somehow made it to America and has made this business of being a blacksmith. And so he is on the Bark's land for a little bit because he helps Mr. Bark, Jacob Bark, build like a new house. But then he like goes off, and that's why Florence has to go find him. Yeah. Okay, so an actual review of the book. So I personally really enjoyed this book. Like, it was really detailed and very, like, Toni Morrison, she's very detailed, very poetic, you know, with her words, like, to describe, like, I don't know, like a flower, she's going to spend a paragraph, you know, detailing it, using, like, metaphors, similes, all this stuff to describe that one flower, that one rose, or whatever. It's very like that, so, and personally, I like history. So, and especially like in this time, like it's on a subject that I really enjoy, like slavery, servitude in the 1680s in America. So before America even had like before America was even America, we had all these different groups, you know, coming together, forming America almost. You know, I think like one of the groups of people in here were like the Portuguese, like they're in here. The people that Jacob bought Florence from. They were Portuguese, you know, like had all these different groups of people that like really interests me, like, so that's why I really like this book. But I'm just gonna say that it's not for people who it's not the easiest read. So when I say that Toni Morrison's a very detailed writer, you know, she puts a lot of thought into what she writes, like a lot of authors do. She like puts so much thought into like one word, like one sentence, one punctuation mark. I'm just kidding, but it's not the easiest read in that sense. Like, since she can get confusing at times, but you, if you're the kind of person who likes to stick with books, even like, you know, through the confusing parts, then it's a book for you. But if you just like want to sit down one Saturday and read it, it's not really the book for you. It's full, like, chock full of symbols, you know, motifs, like symbols, I already said symbols, but symbols throughout the book. So if you're just gonna, like, you know, casually read it like one Saturday afternoon, like, it's not, because like it's the kind of book where you need to understand, you need to take time to understand, to really see the you know, the connections that each character has to each other, like not direct connections, but like indirect connections that each character has, like the parallels between characters, you know, and you can't just see that with like one Saturday read. So it's not for the faint of heart, you know. So it's a magnificently written, beautifully like poetic, like I said, and it's kind of like, I guess if you're kind of into mysteries, because a lot of things are not revealed until you know, halfway through the end. The end was like a big reveal, obviously. Not obviously, but it was a big reveal. And so if you're into mysteries, like if you're into novels that like peel back, because I know a lot of people aren't into novels, like they want to know like upfront what the deal is, but this book really is, it doesn't, like, the first chapter you have no idea what's going on, but like second, third, fourth chapter, you're like, oh, okay, I see, you know. So yeah, that's my take on it. It's very good if you have like a school project, you know, you need a project like where you need to give like thought into it, or like you need to do it like a poster, you know, I don't know. It's a really good book. It's really good. I haven't read any other Toni Morrison books, but I know they're up to this. This is probably up to like her par, like the par of her other books. And it's a New York Times book review, best book of the year. So thanks. Bye.